It's Persona time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the figma number 586. It's Violet. The last one of the Phantom Thieves and the newest edition from the Persona 5 Royal version of the game, which I still haven't played. But regardless of that, I love the fan service design of Kasumi, or Violet as she's called. Very mysterious, but cool looking still. And yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten some Persona figures. This is the last one announced. I was hoping they would do some more casual versions, but for now, we got this. So let's have a look at her. Surprisingly, it does stand on her own quite well. I mean, with all the high heels and stuff, I would think that would be impossible. But no, that's a sign of strong joints, friends. So, she stands about 14.5 centimeters to the top of the head. Quite tall, but most Persona figures are taller than your average figma and 5.5 inches tall. Size comparisons.
Here's Dalter, the SH Figure Arts Son Goku, NECA Michelangelo, every other Phantom Thief from the Figma lineup next to each other. I know we have like casual versions, and there's one person missing in particular, but I didn't feel like putting that slimy weasel on there. And Darkseid.
Overall look and detail, one of my favorite parts of all these Persona designs is that it really stands out. It has its own charm, it has its own identity, which you can tell right away by the face sculpt. You have the big, a lot more rounded eyes, the beautiful brown eyes, just like the artwork in the game. And then also the hair is nicely molded, nicely sculpted. And just a side note, I love the ball joint, and that actually lines up quite well with the color. Sometimes these things can be a little bit iffy, but they got it done for this one. But yeah, you have a ball joint in there, and also the ribbon in the back, and then the long black coat, which seems to me like it's a little bit more shiny on the top part than it is on the lower half, and also the arms, but it's not too bad of a color difference. I'm not minding it because everything else that's on there is painted very nicely. You have the string that goes in the back with the gold buttons, and the rest of the jacket, the coat in the front, beautifully done. And I love that it's a bit more shiny than the rest of it, because you can tell her it's kind of like the body piece, the swimsuit or whatever you want to call it. It's a lot more matte looking as we go down also to the red gloves with some more buttons and beautifully sculpted detail on the wrist over here. And yeah, it's like the female Joker, right? Because you have the coat and the red gloves and whatnot. Moving down to the silver rose, very nice and metallic. Does stand out a little bit and is completely connected. Why is my camera just having trouble to focus? It's connected onto the side, yeah, where the rose is. So it is a bit floppy, it does leave some room, but it's not likely to break off because it's soft plastic. Also, in the back, we do have the butt. It's not really pencil time, but you know, just kinda. Down to the legs, we have some more shine on, I guess this is supposed to be stockings, right? With some more gold detail and some gray. Moving down to the legs and the shoes, the high heels once again. A lot more glossy than the rest of the figure. And also the sword, by the way, if you're wondering, if this is your first rodeo. For Figmas, you don't have the entire sword in there, that's its single piece. But, I mean, overall it looks fantastic, but how well does it articulate? Let's have a look. So, for the articulation, starting off at the head, moves back and forth, obviously a little bit blocked by the collar of the jacket, side to side, and then on the ball joint we have up and down movement, and also can rotate it on the ball. We don't have rotation in the ribbon, that seems to be molded on there. For the shoulder itself, you have the big ball joint in there, which can move it around a little bit. It does clash somewhat with the jacket, but I mean, it does get the job done. Goes up like that. Can bring it down, and you can bring it back and forth with the ball joint that's in the chest area. Then we have a simple ball hinge in the elbow, which can also be rotated, but always be careful with these, not that you break it off if you have it in the wrong angle and you want to move it up or down. So then we have another ball joint in the hand, can bring that up and down, and also rotation in there, obviously. For the chest area, it's not too great, but I guess it's okay. A little bit of back and forth motion, obviously. I mean, if you do more, it does leave some ugly gaps. Side-to-side wiggling, though, is perfectly fine. And let's go to the jacket real quick in the back, because you have ball hinges on each of those points. We have some flickering in the light, I don't know what's going on. But you can bring that up and down and also rotate it side to side for some cool battle and action poses. For the hip joint, it is a Y joint in there, so you can move that up and down to open up some more range for the leg poses. Also goes to the back, and you can also rotate it on there. But for a cleaner look, you just tuck it back in, and then I think it just disconnects a little bit. Tuck it back in there, and you still have some good range on it. Then we also have some rotation. It's a swivel on the thigh and the ball hinge on the knee, and then we have another ball hinge on the foot. Brings that back and forth. Can also be rotated on the top part and also be moved side to side on the lower half. And for your accessories, by the way, it seems like there's gonna be a thunderstorm out there, so I'm gonna wrap this up. If you hear some rumbling, that's not my fault, that's just nature. But we do have this beautiful musket, have some gold detail on there, some shiny blue and some matte brown. You obviously also have the rapier. You know what? I need to be very careful how I pronounce that. But it's just straight up silver. Well, I think there's a little bit of color differences between the blade and the handle. Overall, it looks good, detailed, and beautiful. For the face sculpt, you have like this smiling face, and well, they kind of look almost the same. This one's just kind of like a little bit more determined or angry or whatever. And then also you have a different hairpiece, which has the mask attached to it, which has some nice, oh my god, it's so nicely painted actually. I just had to gush there for a second, how cleanly they're applying these small gray lines to it. Beautifully done. And for the hands, you have fist hands, you have holding hands, you have open hands, and you have this one for the musket. And finally, all the rest of the usual Figma business. You have the base, however you have a longer piece put on the base, which I think most Persona characters, figures had this. And you also have the Figma bag, that's the standard stuff, and also a replacement pack for your wrists. And there you go. Final thoughts, and this one is very simple. I have zero complaints, just like I think most of the Persona lineup. I can't really recall having that many issues with any of them, but first and foremost, I love how the Figma lineup captures the look, captures the style, captures the artwork. The distinctive nature of the characters' looks is recreated oh so damn well in these guys, and also the paint on this one is mwah, exquisite. All the small line work is done to perfection with it. I have not seen a single point of bleeding. The molds are amazing, and the accessories are everything they need to be. And even like, I'm going back to the body sculpt, you even have like some undertone of like the muscles or whatnot in there. If the camera would focus on it, you can tell there's still some molded detail. I think the paint on it is amazing, and yeah, it's just like, it looks like the complete package. As such, I will recommend her because she's amazing, she looks great, and she will stand out in your Figma collection in a good way. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Violet wants.